Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mr. Raider Kid here. Let's talk Raider football. Let's talk 2020 draft. Here's going to be my thoughts and opinions on all the players after a little less than a week to kind of get to know some of these guys and watch what they could do on the football field and seeing how this could help our football team, which it has to help our football team going into 2020 season. Now, the virtual draft was last week, started on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was actually pretty cool, minus, of course, the big stages and the jersey hang-ups and the hugs with the commissioner. Actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty cool, fun to watch virtually and all that. Sucks it couldn't be in Vegas, but it will be in Vegas in 2022. 2021 will take place in Cleveland. So let's get right into it. Let's jump into it. Excuse me. Let's talk 2020 draft class here. In the first round, in the first pick of the first round, we selected Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama. Some people, like myself, wanted Lamb at this spot or Jerry Jeudy. But you know what? I'm now just looking back, I'm very pleased that we went with the speedster. Going back to classic Raider fashion, speed kills, and that's what this kid brings to this team. Speed that we didn't have in the wide receiver class last year. If you look at the guys that we had on the roster playing receiver with Williams hurting his foot, you had guys like Zay Jones, Renfro, and Keelan Dawson, Aitman rotating most of the time. We just didn't have that speedster, especially since Antonio Brown flaked on us. Damon Arnett was our second pick in the first round. A lot of us, including myself, were kind of skeptical about this, but if you really just sit down and just watch this kid play, this guy is a beast. He played with a broken hand majority of that last season. He only gave up one touchdown or so from the stats that I remember. Take a minute to dissect this guy. A lot of people had him high. A lot of people said that he was one of the best corners in the draft if it wasn't for him and Okuda, which if you think about it, if that means Okuda was on the other side, this guy was getting a lot of targets as well, as they were the 1 and 2 combo at Ohio State. And then we go on to the day 2, round 3. We had a few selections in round 3. We ended up trading down, I think, with the Patriots, if I remember correctly. But with our first pick in the third round, we took Lynn Bowden Jr., wide receiver / running back out of Kentucky. Now, he was listed as a wide receiver at first, but it's being told that this guy will play running back. This guy is a small speedster. This guy's played quarterback in high school. He's one of those three-trick ponies. Someone said he's our own Tyson Hill from the Saints, for an example. But this guy is probably going to play right behind Josh Jacobs, be that Jalen Richard of what we want him to be. Although Richard is coming back, Bowden Jr. is going to fit nicely. He can do it all. I'm sure Gruden will have fun with this guy. Then the very next pick, the Raiders went receiver again. Brian Edwards out of South Carolina. This guy was a sleeper pick. He was a first-round projected wide receiver, but a foot injury held him back. This could very much be the steal of the draft and probably the best draft pick. He's a big, tall receiver. He's that guy that we wanted possibly there at 12, but we got the speedster instead, and we still got that big, fade thrown, corner of the end zone type of guy that can go up and get it. This guy is nasty. He can break tackles. He can run and truck through people. This right here is probably my favorite pick, and it could be the sleeper. It could be the one that is just like the Hunter Renfrow of last year per se. And then the last pick in the third round, we took Tanner Muse, linebacker out of Clemson. There's the Clemson pick everyone was waiting for. Tanner Muse was listed as a safety at first, but he's going to play linebacker for us and special teams. In his words, he's a special teams war daddy. This guy is going to fly all over the field. I'm really excited about this because if he's coming off playing, he's very versatile. So if he can play safety, then he can definitely coverage. He can drop back, playing linebacker, something we definitely lacked in last year. And now getting rid of Tahir Whitehead, we need better coverage in that middle of the field, especially against tight ends. Hopefully we'll see a lot of production out of him. I'm excited about him. He's going to be a prospect that is going to have to get stronger and just learn and adjust to the NFL life. Then the last day, we had 3 selections going in, but we ended up trading with Detroit. We traded up to take John Simpson in the 4th round, another Clemson player, guard, big guard. This is good because you got Richie Incognito, who had a great year last year, but he is of age, and Father Time does catch up to you. So it's good to get younger at the guard position. A lot of people thought we were going to trade Gabe Jackson, including myself, but he had one bad year. Minus that, Gabe Jackson has been great and consistent for us, and hopefully there was just a little setback, and he'll make a major comeback going forward with the offensive line. So good pick to get young at the position, especially at guard. And last pick, we went with Amik Robinson, Louisiana Tech cornerback, in the 4th round with pick number 139. This kid is also really good. One I did not know much about, to be honest with you, until I sat down and learned a little bit about him. Very good corner. Some people think, well, from what I saw, some scouts or just people in the media slash within the GMs, a lot of guys had him rated really high, best nickel corner in the draft, they say. So if that's the case, this kid's going to come in and hopefully have immediate impact. And going to our secondary, you think about it, let's talk about it just a little bit. Yeah, right now on the roster, and the roster's at 94, so they're going to have, once all this gets into official, and I don't have the list of the undrafted free agents. There were a couple. There was, I forget his name. I'm not even going to attempt it. But once all those go through and it's all official, the Raiders are going to have to make some cuts. So you're going to see some guys get released here pretty soon, within the next week or so. We can talk more about the undrafted free or rookies, undrafted rookies that we signed at a later date. But our secondary now is very, very young, if you ask me. You got Tavon Mullen, who hopefully is going to come through and just be hopefully that number one cornerback that we can expect. You have Damon Arnett now. Nevin Lawson is there, probably the oldest guy in the cornerback room. And you add Amik Robinson, Isaiah Johnson, and Nick Nelson are all in that class. Very, very young. This could be very good. And then over there in the backfield, you still have LaMarcus Joyner, who's probably going to, hopefully, we'll see what we do with him this year. Demarius Randall, who we signed as a free agent. Jeff Heath, and then Jonathan Abram comes back from injury. So the secondary is improved. Hopefully, we see an immediate impact in that. And then with the linebacking core, same thing, adding Tanner Muse hopefully can make a difference, along with our 2 free agent signings, Corey Littleton and Nick Kaskowski. No additions to the defensive line, which I think is okay. You signed Carl Nassib. Max Crosby had a great year. Hopefully Cleveland Farrell comes through, and Arden Key just make more improvements. And that defensive tackle position is still something we probably should work on. But you got guys like Maurice Hurst that hopefully can just continue to grow and get better. I like the offensive line. I like the offense, and especially what we did. And I can't lie, but the whole FC West got better. At least the Chargers and the Broncos and the Raiders. What we all did was we all just decided to load up on offense to go after the Chiefs instead of trying to beat them down on defense, if you noticed. But I think we got a good package. The wide receiver class, everyone's quick to count out Tyrell Williams for some reason and count him out. I definitely still feel like he's wide receiver number 1. We just signed also Nelson Aguilar this offseason. Of course, and it's Gruden's team, it's Gruden's offense, so cuts could be made like nothing. And we saw a lot of that last year, a lot of releasing and signing and releasing and signing. Gruden pulls the trigger like crazy. So who knows what's going to happen, but you have Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, along with Hunter Renfrow, Zay Jones, and Keelan Dawson. 8 men are probably those dark horses that you may or may not see. Who knows if they make the team. Nelson Aguilar, I think, is going to stay there for right now, but we'll see how this all plays out. Tight end position, you have Darren Waller. Don't forget we signed Jason Witten. And Foster Monroe, who I think had a pretty good rookie season. And then, of course, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Richard, and now Lynn Bowden Jr. all right there with Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. So who knows what's going to happen with the quarterback position when it's time to it. But as of right now, Carr is our quarterback. So we're going to have to roll with him whether we like it or not. That's just the way it is. I think we got a lot better, a lot faster, and definitely younger, of course. Speed, if anything, is going to help this offense. A lot of people are saying that this is not good picks for Derek Carr because Carr doesn't throw deep and things in that nature because he's the Duncan Dimer. Yes and no. I think what we missed from last season was that breakout receiver to make things expand on the playbook and in the routes and everything. And that's what Antonio Brown was supposed to do. But obviously it didn't work out that way, and Tyrell Williams got hurt for half of the season. It felt like with that foot he wasn't 100%. And so we were down to third and fourth strings, fifth string, sixth string practice squad receivers. So hopefully with these new additions, these new offensive weapons, Derek Carr, now this is your last chance. Please, 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 please. We can definitely have a good year next year, but it's all going to come down to how well the offense can, how many points the offense can put up, and how well these young guys on defense quickly adapt. They got to adapt quickly, or they're going to fall behind quick. We got to stomp down on Patrick Mahomes and the defending Super Bowl champions. They're in our division, unfortunately. So I'm really pleased. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to see these guys start getting into training. This is the shitty part of the year where, you get super excited now. You got new players. Your team is fully stocked and it's ready to train, but you have to wait. We do know that I believe the NFL schedule will come out in a couple weeks. I think they announced that. So we have something to look forward to, and we can break that down when it comes to it. So I'll see you guys then. Leave your comments down below. Who's your favorite pick? Who's the one you were most questionable on? But honestly, in my opinion, I think all these guys are going to have really big impacts, every single one of them. In years prior in the drafts, there was a few picks you're just like, I don't know. This one, I don't know. This one feels really, really good. I think Mayock and Gruden killed it, especially in day 2 and 3. And I'm just really excited. I'm going to go watch all last year's games and watch how we could have made the playoffs but slipped up at the end of the year. So that's exciting, though, regardless, because we were right there, and now there's that extra wild card spot, so there's a bigger chance for us to make the playoffs this next season. Hopefully there is a season. So I hope you guys are safe, feeling okay, and I hope you are not too affected by this whole crisis pandemic that's going on. My prayers go out to you if you are truly affected or you lost a loved one. But go Raiders. Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you feel. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time at the schedule release. Go Raiders.